Evening, everybody. Jeff from Rush Bucket Valley Garage. I had a little adventure over this last weekend, and I thought relating it to you might give you a little bit of insight as to what goes on around here. Um, a friend of mine and I decided to take a trip from Los Angeles over to Kingman, Arizona, to go see the sights and go take care of some business. And they have a 2021 Hyundai Venue, and the vehicle has about 26,000 miles on it, and that will become significant as the story goes on. So anyway, Saturday morning we left at about 5:30 in the morning, and it's about a 5-hour trip into Kingman from Los Angeles. And we finally got in there, got into Kingman about shortly after 11 a.m. And we started taking care of the things that we needed to take care of, and everything was going fine. Um, we went through Oatman, Arizona. If you get a chance, take and go there. It's a real hoot. They have a Western show where they have a shootout in the middle of the street. They got wild burros walking around free, and it's an old timey Route 66 type of thing, and you actually take Route 66 to take and get there, and you take Oatman Road. So yeah, it's really neat. So about 3 o'clock or so, we decided to start heading back to Los Angeles. So we had to take Route 66 to, I believe, 95, and to drop back down on Interstate 40 to come from Arizona back into California. Um, After we got on the freeway, Interstate 40, there is a center display screen on the Hyundai venues, and it came up with an error message, and it basically told us that the uh, the engine control unit, engine control module, was throwing a code for lean condition, which means it's getting more air than fuel. It was a P0171. And one thing's nice about it is that it gives you the code, and it also tells you what it is. Okay, and I looked it up on the internet, and there wasn't really anything. It's starting to get dark about this time. The error message was non-emergent. Uh, it basically said, "Hey, your engine's running lean. It's the trouble code is P0171, and when you get a chance, they can go to the dealer and get it taken care of." And we're kind of thinking, okay, running a little bit lean. All right, the engine seems to be running fine. Okay, we had plenty of power to maintain freeway speeds, so it wasn't a problem. Um, we crossed the Colorado River and came back into California, and the first city, major city that or major area that you hit coming back into California is Needles. Okay, and the the vehicle really started acting up at that point. Um, the engine did not go into limp mode. The transmission went into limp mode. Okay, and I was driving at that time, and with the engine RPM at 4,000 RPM, you could not maintain 40 miles an hour. Okay, so we limped it off the freeway, and we were in the middle of absolutely nowhere. Okay, um, that area by GPS is called Essex, California. Okay, you can look that up on the map and you can see there is absolutely nothing around. Um, we wanted something significant, so when we called for help, then we could tell them, okay, we are at such and such a place, and there happened to be a Chevron station there. Um, so we pulled into the Chevron station and we let it cool down for a while, and we tried to drive a little bit, and it absolutely was not happy at all. Okay, so we just went back to the Chevron station and we decided to take a call for assistance. This person I was with has a Hyundai roadside assistance. We found the 800 number for them and we called them up, and basically they have no resources. They have no tow trucks, they have no service people. They referred us to AAA and they connected us over. The AAA operator at um, at that time said, we don't have anybody to send you. We don't have anybody that really covers that area. We will take and put a call up on the board and see if we can take and get somebody to come and tow you. But we are going to tow you 100 miles back to Kingman from Essex, California, back into Arizona to the nearest dealership, which is a Hyundai dealership in Kingman. And by that time, it would have been 11 p.m. The dealership would have been closed. There wouldn't have been any place to get anything to eat. Hotels are scarce in the area, so we would have been street people for a night or so. So that was not an option. Basically, we decided that we needed to be towed back to Los Angeles, which was 247 miles. Okay. Um, we basically told the AAA operator that, I'll tell you what, put it out on the wire that whoever takes and responds to us, we will give them $250 cash, plus a tow to take us to Los Angeles. And the operator basically says we can't negotiate with them. They either take the call or they don't take the call. They basically left us hanging, and they said, well, on your own, see if you can get somebody to take and, service you. And if I don't hear anything in an hour, I'm just going to take and close the ticket, like it never happened. Okay. So, so we did a Google search and we actually found a towing service that was in Needles. Okay, and they weren't too far away. So we contacted them and said, we're in this Chevron station, and we gave them the address, and we said we need to be taken back to Los Angeles, and so it's about 247 miles. What's a tow bill going to be? And when you're between a rock and a hard place, and you really need to be rescued, it is going to cost you. And it did cost us. It cost us $2,700. I know you're going, wow. Yes, that's what we said, but it had to be done, and it was basically our own option, our only option rather. So the flatbed tow arrived, and we loaded up the Hyundai, And Riley, if you are watching this video, and I certainly hope you are, God bless you, because you really taken helped us out, and we really appreciate you. And you're a good man. So we took and went to got in the tow truck and took off, and basically took us back to Los Angeles, and we got back in here at 11:45, and I had to take my friend home because they dropped their car off at my shop here, and the Hyundai is still under warranty, so I wasn't about to take and do anything with it. The next morning, which is Sunday morning, I had a transport take it to South Bay Hyundai in Torrance. So they basically advised us, well, it'll be 2 or 3 days, when we get around to it. And since we didn't have an appointment, and so anyway, today is Wednesday. So yesterday, Tuesday, they finally got around to it. It turns out that some of the rough roads that we probably went over took and jarred something loose in the engine compartment, and it had to do with the air intake. Okay, so the air intake box had a problem where the air intake box was not seated properly, and there was a seal that was leaking that was allowing excess air to come into the engine, and that is it. That is the problem that made the transmission check out. Okay, so South Bay Hyundai, all they did is they took and reseated the seal, and now everything's right with the world. Okay, so they did a bunch of other testing and everything. They ran it for codes. There wasn't any codes in the transmission or transmission module. So the cars have gotten so sophisticated and so picky these days that the itty bitty tiniest little thing, okay, especially when they give you a misleading message on the heads up dash saying, oh, it's just a little air leak, no big deal, get it fixed when you want to. There was nothing there saying that, oh, it's going to put you in limp mode and make the transmission take and start acting up. So I must have a disclaimer here saying that I hope this is a unique experience with this one vehicle, and this is my and my friends' personal experience. Okay, it does not apply to anyone else. We just want to take and make you aware of how the itty bitty little tiny things can take and make the biggest problem. So basically, for the $2,700 tow, we opened up a case with the insurance company that covers the car, because they have roadside assistance and towing there. And also we opened up a case with Hyundai. It turns out that the dealership wasn't really very much help when it come to the towing issue, so we elevated it to Hyundai USA, and we're supposed to hear back from them tomorrow. Then if we don't get a valid answer from them, though then it goes to Hyundai National. Okay, so if there's anything significant there, I will take and bring you along and give you an update as to what's going on. Okay, but that's basically how I spent my weekend and my friend's weekend dealing with this thing. And I was never so glad to see a tow truck. I was never so glad to see home, and it was just a total drag. But when you get stuck way out in the middle of no place, what we did is we turned on the GPS on our phones, and we said, okay, we're here, and then who is the closest assistance? And so we were totally on our own, and we found this towing service in Needles. And again, God bless you, Riley. We like you a lot. So anyway, hopefully you got something out of this story, and it'll give you a little bit of a resource. Maybe if you get stuck out in no man's land, how to take and handle it. Okay. I hope you had a better weekend than me and my friend had. So we'll talk to you next time. All right. You have a good one. We'll talk to you. Bye.